Hey guys, welcome. Hey, welcome. Hold on while I bring up the comments on here. Hold on a second. So many tricks I got to do now to keep track of so many different platforms. So here we go. Got you on here. Thanks for coming by. Let me turn on the mic. I know mic is off. There you go. Microphone on. So we're just hello Karen. Adjusting to the setup here with multiple microphones and everything is just don't use disinformation in spelling or grammar. That's where it's don't use disinformation in spelling or grammar. That's where AI is. Are you saying I have a wrong spelling somewhere? Hello HB Dreams. Hello. Are you saying I have a misspelling somewhere? Did I misspell something? Okay, I'm going to monitor Braxme on my phone. There it is. It multicasted automatically. Okay, I'm all set. I can see comments on Brax. And hello, Twist Mint. And I can see your comments here on Periscope. I can see your comments on YouTube. And we're good to go here. I got you in slow motion with the Zuck. Why do you have me in slow motion there? George 933, hello. So we got, again, for those of you who don't know what I've been doing lately here, I'm multicasting to YouTube, Braxme, Twitch, and Periscope. So we're multicasting on all these different platforms, and I'm monitoring the. If you're making a comment on YouTube, I can see you. If you're making a comment on Brax, I can see you. If you're using Periscope, of course, I can see you because I'm on Periscope. So thank you, Twistmint. You see, is my mansion big enough for you? How do you turn your keyboard into a grand piano? How to turn my keyboard into a grand piano? You buy one. Hello, Jimmer. So I can't. I've been very careful here because I'm on YouTube. Hello, Donzo, on Brax. Because I'm very careful because I'm on YouTube not to play any music that they'll recognize as copyright infringement. So I'm improvising on the piano. So I'm not. Got to be careful with that. So YouTube doesn't go say copyright infringement. Not that it matters. Hello, Emma. Not that it matters because, as it turns out, you're welcome, Tinkver. Not that I can help you much. As it turns out, to monetize on YouTube, I need, as I found out, in order to monetize on YouTube, I need 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours viewed. Well, at this rate, it will take me a year. So I don't think I'm going to. I don't even have 200. I think I have 189 followers as of before the broadcast. You get there one day. Thank you. And I have like 9 hours watched. It's going to be a long day to get to 4,000. So if you get a chance to watch and follow on YouTube, I appreciate it. My account on YouTube is Braxme, and if you if we build that following up, someday we'll get to 1,000 followers in YouTube. YouTube takes a long time to build up, so we're gonna have to struggle through that. Can you hear me well, folks? Can you hear me well? Is my sound okay? So just a lot of technical things I got to worry about. And one of the things that I built today, was the ability to automatically start Brax. So when I start broadcasting, Brax automatically turns on. Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Comments on YouTube. What happens is when I turn on my broadcast, it automatically starts Brax. So I don't even have to worry about it. It's just, this is like so awesome. So if any one of you are interested in multicasting, and especially if you're a Periscope VIP, please realize that I'm offering the service for free for limited time. For next 30 days, I'm offering anyone who comes in from Periscope as a VIP to get a restreaming option on Brax Live. So Brax Live, it's very simple. You just put the link that I give you on the app, on your OBS or Streamlabs, and then you're good to go. That's it. It's really, there isn't much to do. You just have to have an account that allows for that, and you can do that. So if you are a Periscope VIP and you want to do what I'm doing here, which is try to build up my YouTube following or Twitch following, the only way to do it is to multicast. So multicasting is what I'm trying to promote here, and I'm offering it free to people who are who are Periscope broadcasters. So if you're a Periscope broadcaster, it's free. If you're a non-Periscope VIP, you can try it out for 7 days for free, so you can see how it works. It's pretty simple. There's really nothing. You don't even have to use Brax really. You sign up for an account and put your stream keys in there and VIP badge. Yes, you have to have a VIP badge. That's it. If you have a VIP badge on Periscope, I'll give it to you for free. If you do not have a VIP badge, you can try it out for 7 days so you see how it works. And free to laugh now. So I don't understand why I don't have a rush of people from Periscope wanting to do this. I guess either you don't use OBS, or second, you don't really want to build a following on YouTube. So yeah, I don't know. I'm offering it for free, and people aren't like rushing for this. I don't understand. So there you go. So there isn't much to do. So you go into Brax, you sign up. If you want to demo it, you sign up with a demo account. If you're not a VIP or you don't have a VIP coupon because you haven't contacted me, you can try it out. Put in the demo 101 coupon code, which will give you 7 days for free, and you can use it immediately and then try it out and see if it works. And if it works, then you're good to go. And it also automatically broadcasts on Brax.me, so it's pretty simple. I don't stream, mainly view. Everyone I told, he said, well, check it out. Can use this via mobile apps only. Yes, but you need two phones to monitor if you're going to use it on mobile, you need another device to monitor comments. Okay, so yes, you can do it on mobile because Streamlabs has a mobile version. So you can use Streamlabs, you can use, you can even use Twitch, but it's just easier to, Streamlabs works pretty well. I use Streamlabs on mobile, it's free. And then I broadcast to Brax, and Brax will take care of broadcasting everywhere else. But if you don't read the comments, then people aren't seeing you on Scope. Apparently not. In order for me to be seen on Scope, I have to play like little games. And if I don't play my game, then they don't watch me on Periscope. So it's really I have to put like dancing girls like this. If I put dancing girls, maybe they'll come. Hello Mantis, I'm not a content creator, guess I'm SOL. People can't just voluntarily show up on their own. Yeah, well they won't, because they need some incentive, because I'm too boring. I don't have open bobs, and I'm not a attractive woman. So what happened to Steve from Florida, my good friend? That's what Steve from Florida. By the way, Steve from Florida was would appreciate this. He doesn't like squash because he was allergic to squash. His doctor said he can't have squash. But Steve was really appreciative of the ladies. He was appreciative of the ladies. I'm going to tell you that clearly in my discussions with him. He really likes the ladies. Yes, Steve. Steve from Florida, as many of you know, and some of you may not know, passed away yesterday. You're learning piano too, George. That's awesome. So the dancing girls are funny. This is not dancing. This is gyrating. This is like we're talking about. These girls here are no squash. Hey Rob, are you buddy? Hey, too late for love. These are K-pop dancers. Squash is more effective than K-pop dancers, but what the heck? We'll change the scenery every once in a while. So can't be doing the same thing every time. Okay, so there you go. Actually, let me make sure we see the comments from YouTube. If you're commenting on YouTube, I can see it. It shows up on screen. Howdy doody. I feel tingly all over. Okay, so yeah. Since I don't have the body of these ladies here in this picture. That was quick. Then I need to, fake it so that people can come to my scope. Otherwise, nobody would watch me. Because who wants who wants to watch Zucking Zuck book? Me talking about Zucking Zuck book is a boring topic. Not interesting to people. So anyway, so yes, Steve, from Florida was, he was very fond of the ladies. Very fond of the ladies. What up, big homie? Hello, T. Charlie. What's up, dude? So anyway, Steve, I don't think Steve would want us to be sad. I know Steve fairly well. I've known him for years. And Steve from Florida. And he and I not only have corresponded regularly here on Brax, but also, I met him in person. And hello, I Social Fit. And Steve would appreciate that. I don't think there will be any doubt that Steve would appreciate the K-pop girls. Yes. Steve would have no problem with that. He would say he doesn't like the squash. He told me he doesn't like the squash because his doctor said he couldn't eat squash, and it disturbed him that and goes to scope and see squash, and he can't have it. NPC, what the Zuck is NPC, Artie. So Steve from Florida, who passed away yesterday, is I don't think he would want us to be sad. Steve, is full of joy and one of the kindest persons I have ever met. My lighting is always off. I haven't figured out the lighting yet. And it's very difficult to figure out because of the in fact, I moved the lighting very far away, and it's still Disinformation Nation. The man, you had it good yesterday. No, yesterday was bad. So, what do you want me to do with the lighting? I can tweak it. What do you want me to do with the lighting? Just tell me what your opinion is. It's too dark. Do I need to turn it up? So anyway, continuing on with what I was saying about Steve. Steve was, strangely enough, for a person who suffered a lot. Well, I will look pale. I don't know how to fix that, because if I make it brighter, then I'll look even more pale. If I make it darker, then I will look. See, I don't know what to do. So there, more contrast, and I still look pale. I don't know what to do. Non-playable character. I look like I have makeup. Yeah, it's weird. Skin tone doesn't matter. So, yeah, a picture's better without the background snow on past days. The picture's better without the background snow on the past days. The background doesn't really have anything to do with it. The background doesn't have anything to do with it. The background is not consequential here. It has to do with the lighting itself and trying to balance it out. And I'm not certain how to do it yet. The lighting is very far away. So Steve, my buddy Steve, and I don't claim to be Steve's best friend or anything. Some of you may make that claim. I don't make that claim. But Steve and I, spent time together. We met in person, and I pushed him on a wheelchair. And you don't see this on the videos, because he's scoping and he's sitting there in a car. Usually when he's scoping, he's in a car or in his bedroom or someplace. And what you don't realize about Steve is it's very, very difficult for him to walk. He's very, very heavy. He was very heavy. And his legs couldn't support his weight. So it was very hard for him to walk around. So when I met him, I had to push him around in a wheelchair. How heavy was Steve? At least 400 pounds is my guess. at least 400. He couldn't stand up really with never see any old fat people. So Steve is only 59. Was only 59. So it's kind of sad. So anyway, Steve had such difficulty moving around, and yet when he scoped, he doesn't show it on his face. Yes, it was very hard to push him. I brought in my own wheelchair. I had a wheelchair, and I pushed around, we had BBQ. We had barbecue in L.A. and brought him to a place in LA for a barbecue, and he was such a pleasant guy to talk to, and we had a lot of, I've already known him before, but he wanted to meet me, and it's very rare that I meet people, and I had to make a special exception for Steve because we've known each other for a very, very long time. So it may not have anything to do with it, but your face and clothes look better with different backgrounds. But your face and clothes look better with different backgrounds? Well, what about today? Is it today a good or bad effect? I don't know. You tell me. Is it working today or not working today? Because, what's his name? Silver was complaining because he wanted me to use squash. Squash is more effective, apparently. So, I don't know. What do you think? What's more effective? Squash more effective? I think squash is very effective. The dancing girls don't really do it. I don't know why, but dancing girls don't do it. But the squash, very, very effective. The squash. Can't explain to you why, but it just is. Because we got the type of person we have on Periscope here. The squash holds all the cards. I put the squash up, and it's guaranteed. It's like it's 100% guaranteed to bring the traffic in here. And so, explain that to me. Yeah, bring the squash in here, and they come. They come. So, it's got to be in the center. Yes, Zuck. Yeah, Zuck is on YouTube. I made the font smaller on YouTube. Can you add a pinkish hue to the squash? What eye candy do you use to attract women here? Apparently, that doesn't seem to matter. If I have any eye candy for women, nobody will show up. So I don't know. I guess women don't react to eye candy like. See, look, I'm putting the dancing girls in here, and they still don't care. So I don't know. Thank you, Deanna. Put up onion rings. Better than the what? Squash doesn't know Rob will cook them up. No. It's very hard to understand. I put all these different graphics in here. I remember back in the old days when Periscope first started, we would put titles like Open Bobs. And then that got tiring. Nobody would really show up when you put Open Bobs because they don't see any Open Bobs. They want to see actual Open Bobs. So, but they see squash and they say, well, I got to click on that. I can't resist. I think that, yes, I don't know. You tell me, Enlighten Up. Show feet. I don't know, Enlighten Up. I don't know if women appreciate my smile and laughter. I have no idea. So you tell me. Open squash. So somebody looks in that and said, what am I seeing here? And they said, it's like, is that what I think it is? And to some women, they look at that and they think it's something else. I told you to set your blonde son behind you and have him flex. Lift sack. If you fix the camera to not look like a corpse, the women will be all over the scope. The problem with looking like a corpse, which I agree, is I moved the lighting really far away, and and for some reason, let me give it a try again here. I moved the camera very, very far away, and Here, let me tweak it live here. Again, this is like a trial. See here, like I minimize the contrast. I don't know what to do. I mean, what here? Minimize the contrast a little bit, but I kind of look like a corpse either way. What? Minimize the contrast? Does that work? You tell me. Go everyone, Karen. Surfer babe, Karen. Okay, there. I don't know. I still look like a corpse. You've used the Beetlejuice filter. What's always a vampire? Breaking news. Yes, I am a vampire. I gotta. Let me tell you what the problem is. The only time I can test this is right before my scope because it has to be completely dark. You're in line behind Steve. Yes, I'm gonna be a corpse. The camera's automatically trying to do something with the lighting to compensate for the green. No, Artie, it has nothing to do with that because I can turn off the background and it has nothing to do with it. It's the lighting, specifically how it impacts on my face. So I know some makeup artists that can help you. Just watch Steve Lasko singing. How am I going to get through? Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, Steve. How many of you had a chance to actually meet Steve in person? I count myself lucky to have met Steve in person. And beyond that, Steve actually believed a lot of things I believed, and would come to me and say, I talked about you in my scope, and talked about the same kind of things that I promoted, and that he actually had many of my products. He had a Tor router, he had a VPN, social vision. I mean, he had everything. He tried everything that I had, and he was very interested in what I was doing, and even beyond that, he was actually he was a healthcare software developer, just like I was. No, Too Late for Love. Steve was Jewish. Too Late for Love. No, Steve was Jewish. His next to last YouTube was about you and your VPN. Oh, that was so nice. So. And Steve, told me about his experience in the hospital, and how he had he had organ failure, multiple organ failure, and it was like he didn't think it was going to come out of there. Yes, he was Jewish. Yes, very very kind man, very tolerant of other people. He's just a good person. He's just a good person. So for those of you, who don't appreciate what Steve represented, I'm going to tell you what Steve represented. Steve represented community here on Periscope. He was one of the. He especially liked the lady scopers. He was very very fond of the lady scopers. I'm not going to mention names of scopers that he particularly focused on that he told me about. But some of them are very happy to, are very sad about Steve, and they scoped about him. So some of those women that scoped about him, Steve was very, very fond of him. He was very, very fond of the ladies. So, I always saw him on Fem Yoga Taylor. Not necessarily Fem Yoga Taylor, no. Of course, he was very supportive of a lot of people at Periscope. So Steve represented community, and if something I'm going to tell you, since I'm broadcasting here on YouTube, and comparing YouTube to Periscope, I'm going to say there really isn't anything equivalent to Periscope when it comes to community. There isn't one. Yo Pickles was having a rough time today. Knowing Steve, I'm thinking about the positive side of what Steve would want us to feel today. I don't think sadness is one of them. I don't think he would want us to feel sad. I just know him well enough that I know he wouldn't want that, because I'm gonna tell you guys, he was suffering so badly, and I was pushing him. I was pushing him on a wheelchair, and he was suffering so badly, and it doesn't show on his face. Basically, once he settles into a mood, he starts to smile, and he forgets about all of the difficulty he has. He really forgets about all of that, and it's just Yes, that is that's squash, not yam. And it's just an amazing kind of personality that Steve had. Since he was dealing with medical clinics when in his life when he was doing software development in New York, I was like thinking to myself, wow, somebody like him would have been a great guy to work with because he wouldn't he's not gonna go attack you and go, like me, I always get angry here on my scope. Steve would never get angry. It's just not his type. He just doesn't do that. But he doesn't get angry though. Dude, you took over to a BBQ. Think salad next time. Well, we fu can. Steve ordered salmon. We fu can. Steve ordered salmon. However, I'm going to tell you this. Steve may have ordered salmon, but he had a big dessert. I had ribs. He had salmon, and he had mercury, and he hello boo boo boop you do, and he had a big dessert. So he enjoys his dessert. So it's like I said, wow, considering his weight, he was eating very well with the salmon, and then now I see why he had the weight problem because he liked the dessert. So Steve knows how to enjoy life, and he did, and it's that's why we want to remember Steve as almost you know to me Steve is symbolic of community on Periscope. Boo boo. Steve is symbolic to me of community on Periscope. Hello, Jimmy Reed from Ireland. Have to tell him when you see him. Yes, we can. Well, you're planning on seeing him soon. Are you planning on seeing him soon? I can see a smiling face in my mind right now. So yes, and I believe Steve had a girlfriend. Keeps telling me he had a girlfriend, and I know he had a daughter, and yeah. So he's from New York. He moved to Florida. So I don't think that Steve wants us to think sadly of his passing. So we want to think about it in happy terms and remember the guy that in my time on Periscope will always remember as a symbol of community because he just shared himself on Periscope like you wouldn't believe. He just did. So anyway, Steve was so joyful. Yes. So fortunately, we can go back to Steve's. Maybe he can get gold status on Periscope from replays because we're gonna go watch all of his replays on Periscope, and he liked to sing. So what a good man! What a good man! So anyway, so sad, so sad, but he doesn't want to be sad. He doesn't want to be sad. Thank you, no name. Thank you, no name. So what is his screen name? His screen name is Steve from FRMFL. It's on my title. Steve from, and of course, Steve is a big supporter of what I believe in, which is privacy and cybersecurity. He talks about what I talk about constantly. So if you have any doubt about what, he supported me so much. He supported me so much. So remember that. Remember that he was more forward thinking than many millennials. He's not a millennial, obviously. The K-pop is hot. There you go, Steve from Florida. So there you go. There you go, Steve from Florida. Wonderful man. It's so shocking to find out his YouTube was good as well. He was okay. So I'm seeing your comments on YouTube, by the way. I'm not seeing your comments on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch, I'm I'm not seeing anything on Twitch. Allows you to watch me on Twitch, but preferably you watch on YouTube, Periscope, or Brax. So, and I can see some of you are on Brax. Hello, Twistmint. Hello, Donzo on Brax. Who else is on Brax here? Van, Emma. So, hello on Brax. So anyway, what is our topic tonight? Our topic tonight is about uh, Hanukkah. No, I get confused. Hanukkah is not our topic. Our topic is disinformation. Our topic is disinformation. Now, let me just tell you this, and then Richard is also on Brax. Let me just tell you this. It's a very difficult problem if you think you can escape the tracking. It's a very difficult problem, and one of the major evidence of this is if you use YouTube. So, so I'm going to give you an example that I experienced just to show you, because I'm using YouTube a lot lately because I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and I will show you the difficulty here. So when you use YouTube, you have to log into your YouTube account. So now you're logged in. Now what happens when you're logged in to YouTube? Then it starts to track you based on your login account. So in my case, I'm Braxme on YouTube, and all of my activities are tracked to Braxme. So if I go into YouTube and say, I want to see women in bikinis on YouTube, they will now associate that with Braxme. Okay? Yes, there should be a very little delay between all the platforms, unless the platform has a bug. But from my end, I'm broadcasting simultaneously to all the platforms. Babylon Brook, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing, my friend? Babylon Brook, welcome to my scope, Babylon Brook. So, yeah, I just dedicated the first half an hour of my scope talking about our friend, my good friend Steve. Why does YouTube have commercials and businesses in my neighborhood? Yes, Babylon Brook. So, by the way, Brook, one thing I'm doing here is I'm multicasting the Periscope, YouTube, and Braxme and Twitch. And anyone with a Braxme account can use my free restreaming capability. If you are a VIP, you can have it for free. All you have to do is contact me on Brax. I'll give you a coupon. You sign up, you upgrade your Brax account, and you can stream to those platforms for free, just like I'm doing here. And it's very fast, and it includes transcoding, and you can't really get the service for free anywhere else. So this is so please spread the word. I'm only doing this for 30 days. Any VIPs that subscribe to this will get it free for for the year. Braxme does not have porn that I'm aware of, but what do I know? Since it's an encrypted platform, but in public, no. Not that I'm aware of in any public view. I have not seen any that is visible to me. At least I'm not a member of any space that has porn in it. No. So if you're a broadcaster and you use OBS or Streamlabs, you can broadcast to all of these platforms. By the way, when I broadcast from Brax.me, I do not have to do anything. Santa Rob is still here. I don't have to do anything. I just hit broadcast on my OBS and it starts Brax automatically as well. So I don't have to do anything on YouTube except maybe put the title before I start my scope. I don't have to, well, on Periscope you have to go into settings and do the OBS. Why did Tumblr delete its users' adult videos? Why are you asking me? Why don't you ask Tumblr? So yes, a lot of the platforms are strange that they're only doing it now, actually. I can't live chat you from iPhone on YouTube, and why not? Why can't you live chat me from iPhone on YouTube? Why not? I can see comments. I'm using Streamlabs. I can see comments on YouTube. I can see comments on Periscope, and I can see comments on Brax. So YouTube comments come out on the video right there, so you can all see it, YouTube comments. YouTube is not mobile friendly for chatting. It's not as a broadcaster, but as a user, it's good enough. If I go into my my phone here and go to YouTube and watch my broadcast, I should be able to make a comment. just fine. In fact, I'm going to try it right now and leave a comment. So here, okay, I can leave a comment. It's not hard at all. Testing 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I can leave a comment on YouTube. What's the problem? No, you don't. As a user, not the broadcaster. No, broadcaster is different. As a user, I don't have any problem with seeing or entering comments on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you can have the same experience, except you don't see the comments from Periscope. Testing 4, 5, 6. Yes. So how are you doing? No name. No name. How are you? So of course I know who No Name is, but you may not know who No Name is, but I do. So anyway, so yeah, the boss says it's fine. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. There's really, so I don't know what that comment is, Great Gold. I mean, it's very easy to leave comments. I started watching the broadcast and went vegan. You went vegan from this broadcast. Awesome. You should do that. It's I want to support vegans on Periscope. You know, it may be been healthier for Steve from Florida to been vegan. Maybe he'd been with us a little bit longer if he was vegan. Just kidding. Just kidding. If you see a lot of Steve's scopes, he does have a lot of eating scopes where he's eating BBQ or Mexican or something, and he's eating in the car and broadcasting at the same time, right before he does his sunset scope. So and he would announce the broadcast in Brex. Kabak? What does that mean? Kabak. What does that mean? What does that mean? Anyway, so I can read comments on YouTube just fine. Entering comments on YouTube is not a problem. I need a separate phone to read comments on Brax because need sweeter vegan desserts. I need a separate device for Brax because I don't want to put Brax comments here on the broadcast because I want people's private comments to go in here. So the whole idea of Brax is to have privacy. So I want them to keep their comments private. So I have a separate device for Brax. I can see YouTube and Periscope on this iPad here. And the only thing you need is another device to actually do the broadcast. Now, what do you need for that? You can use a computer for broadcast, or you can use a mobile device. So you basically either have a computer and a mobile device, or two mobile devices, and you can do exactly what I'm doing here. You don't like YouTube. Where do I send the video showing you can't chat on YouTube? Where do I send the video showing you can't chat? I'm just chatting on. Did I just demonstrate that I'm chatting on YouTube? Get the app then. I'm running the app on YouTube and I'm chatting. Okay, I'm here. I'll type it out for you. I'm chatting on YouTube. I don't understand the problem. There. Just type that. Okay? Okay, there it is. I'm chatting YouTube. I just put that in. I don't know what you're talking about. It's very easy to chat on YouTube. I wish the YouTube was more like Periscope. Well, it's a better experience to type on Brax. Can random people find you on YouTube, or do they have to look you up? I have not found any discovery on YouTube. Most people that find me on YouTube are people that already follow me. I'm reading you. Yes, no name. Brax is the best experience. Yes. Scope wins. So there is no doubt that Periscope and Steve from Florida is if anything, Steve from Florida will remind us how valuable the Periscope experience is. Steve from Florida has demonstrated to us that Periscope is extremely different because it's the only platform that truly supports a community. And Steve had made many friends in this community. Dear God, are you on Scope at the same time? Yes, Van. Oh, I thought you were like making an expression. You were referring to somebody named Yurga. On Brax, the viewer can post photos, no trolls and Brax, and your battery doesn't die as fast. That is correct. But it depends on what your interest is as far as privacy. But one thing I did discover for those of you who want to do this, you can't just go cold turkey and go to YouTube. It's a very tough experience, folks, because I'm going to tell you that no, you can interact just as well. If most of you were on YouTube, I can interact just as well with you. But in normal use, it's really not what we expect to do on YouTube. But let me just tell you this. Uh, in order to go on YouTube, you need 4,000 hours to monetize on YouTube. You need 4,000 hours of viewing time and 1,000 followers. Well, I don't have 1,000 followers. So if you're not following me on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube. My handle on YouTube is BraxMe. And you have to build up slowly. And every time I broadcast, every day that I broadcast on YouTube, I get a few more of you followers, and it's building up. And I'm expecting that after tonight I will have at least hello Greg. After tonight I will have 200 followers on YouTube, hopefully, because I'm just starting this. Okay, again to explain this to you, if you are a Periscope VIP, if you okay, Gilo, listen to this. If you are a Periscope VIP, I am offering this to all Periscope VIPs, free multicasting or restreaming on Brax.me with transcoding to Periscope, YouTube and BraxMe and Twitch at the same time for free. All you have to do is contact me on Brax and get your coupon code, and you can now use your Streamlabs, your OBS, whatever you want to use, and you can broadcast and do the multicasting I'm doing right now. I'm multicasting currently to Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and BraxMe. Okay? BraxMe is automatic. When I start it, it automatically broadcasts to BraxMe. I don't even have to pay attention to that. YouTube is automatic as well. Periscope, you have to go to settings and put your title on and all that. YouTube, you have to put the title before the broadcast. BraxMe, you don't have to do anything. It will just, you can configure it so that when I start, it just starts. So Twitch, you also don't have to worry about it. Maybe Rob can do more tech demos, viewers like that. Really? I don't know viewers like that. They get bored. Okay, so again, spread the word. Periscope VIPs in here. Spread the word. I'm offering this for the next 30 days. Or less than 30 days now. For the next 30 days, approximately, I will be offering free coupon codes to any Periscope VIP. And if you want to multicast to Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and BraxMe simultaneously, you can do so for free, or any subset thereof. You can broadcast only to Periscope and YouTube, Periscope and Twitch, whatever you want. It's up to you. You always have to broadcast to Periscope, though. So, because this is really for Periscope people. So if you are interested in that, please spread the word to all other VIPs. All you have to do is contact me on Brax. And it's very simple. You don't even have to use Brax if you don't want, because all you do is sign up and you get a restream. I'm trying to figure out how to live stream my drone feed to Twitch. You don't have to live stream your drone feed to Twitch. You just have to live stream to BraxMe. Brax Live is actually where you live stream. You live stream to Brax Live. Brax Live then takes care of feeding it to all the rest. It's just one broadcast handles everyone else. Okay, you don't have to do any kind of sending a multiple versions. You don't have to multicast from your device. You're only sending one signal. You're only sending one signal of the highest quality that you can muster, and you send it to Brax Live. Brax Live will send it to all the players, and I'm paying for it, not you. It's free for any of you who are Periscope VIPs. It's free for you, and I'm paying for it. So take advantage of it because it's free. For the rest of you who want to try it out, all you have to do, folks, is sign up to Brax and do a 7-day free trial of a Social Vision account. There's a coupon code in there, Demo 101 on Brax, me, and you upgrade your account and you can start broadcasting. That's some serious dollar in terms of service, I would think. Yes, Gilo, that is correct. So it's my money. It's my money, and you know, so it's a trial. We'll see if it works, and come on and utilize it because I can do anything, as you can see. So I basically duplicated Restream.io. Okay, I can do anything. I have the technical capability to do anything, and I'm offering this. But to be honest with you, most of the load is on the platforms that are supporting you, not me. It's Periscope and Twitch and YouTube that are taking the bulk of the load from the viewers. I only sent 3 signals. So I receive 1 signal and send 3 out. It's not gonna break the bank to do that. So that's not too bad. And I prepaid a lot of bandwidth, so I should be okay with a certain number of VIPs. At some point, I will have maybe too many VIPs, and I say, no more. It's been an hour. Let's get on topic, please. My stream's biggest load is my upload speed. My stream's biggest load is my upload speed. Yes, Levendi. This topic is very, very important because the multicasting is a very, very big part. Who are the big live streamers on YouTube? I don't know if there's any big live streamers of YouTube that are, not popular and, like a radio station or a TV station. I don't think YouTube has really, because there's no discovery. I don't think YouTube is yet to, except for one-time viewership, I don't think it's really, really big on live streaming yet. So, like I said, it takes in order to monetize on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. Well, it'll take a year to do that. No, Ron does not. Ron just uses a phone, so he's not going to be able to do this. In order to do this, you need 2 devices. You need 2 devices. Anyway, back to this is kind of connected, and let me tell you why I started thinking about the disinformation problem. Okay, we're gonna go to the topic now, and I got distracted when somebody came in here earlier. I am logged on typically to YouTube without any account. I'm typically logged out. I always log out of Google. I don't really keep a login on Google. So when I'm on Google, I make sure that I'm not logged into Google. So, and my hope was that if I'm not logged into Google, then Google will not have any way of tracking me. Now, how foolish am I, since I know the exact techniques that they use? So it was foolish to actually imagine that you can actually escape the tracking. So this is a factual thing. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now that if you go into a logged out YouTube. And you know me, I'm fond of my weapons here. So I have this weapon here, for example. And so I said, okay, let me look at YouTube videos on guns. This is an example. And if I go to YouTube and look at guns without logging in, I would expect that as I use YouTube in my unlogged in state, that it would actually start showing me gun videos. And it does. It does do that. If I start off with one gun video, then I expect all the gun videos to show up on the side. Okay. Now, scenario change here, because some of you are using YouTube now like I am. So, and YouTube is the most of us don't watch TV anymore, we watch YouTube. So now you go to YouTube and log in. Now in my case, I have to log into YouTube because I'm doing broadcasting. So I almost always log into YouTube. So I log into YouTube, which means everything I do Google-wise now being tracked. My search traffic, everything you search for under Google goes to your logged in account. But back before I talk about that. Let's just talk about first about the what happens when you have an unlogged in account. If I am logged into Google, not logged into Google, and I'm seeing guns, and I log into Google, my expectation is, because there's an option in Google to say pause search history, pause, it's in privacy settings in there, pause, location tracking, pause YouTube history and all that. So if you actually believe them, then I should not see any gun videos when I log in. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that that's completely false. YouTube is in fact tracking me even when I have two separate accounts. They have connected the accounts. So they basically have connected my non-logged in state to my logged in state. Now, obviously this is a technique I've discussed here before, and you should know about this technique. How do you think they do that? And many of you will respond, cookies. But yes, they don't do cookies anymore. That's not the way it's done. Okay, how do you think they do that? So for some of you who are not educated on this, and I'm going to refresh your knowledge on this. No, I'm on a VPN. No, Levendi, that's part of it, but not the complete story. No, the way they track you is an unbelievably difficult thing to evade. It's called browser fingerprinting. Browser fingerprinting is almost impossible to evade if you stick to a single browser. There's really no technique for doing that. If you're using, it doesn't matter how many times you've logged in and out on YouTube. Let's say you have 5 different YouTube accounts. Let's say you have 5 different YouTube accounts on your computer, and you log in YouTube and you log out and so on, and you will find that your search activity still bring up the same kind of results regardless of which account you use. And you're saying, well, how did they do this? Well, obviously they're using, and I'm using a VPN. Obviously they're using browser fingerprinting. Okay, and by browser fingerprinting, let me explain to you how this works. So, and I've done many scopes on this, but you always have to think about this in context so you understand. Browser fingerprinting, the way this works, it recognizes your device. So it's really not just about the browser. It actually recognizes your computer. It actually recognizes your computer and what's unique about your browser. So your browser's reaction to your computer is what it records. It's, for example, it knows your screen resolution, how big the browser window is, what your font is, what your extensions are and plugins. And if you actually track all of that, what websites have you visited that has HSTS security? These are little tricks that they combine into a signature that is unique to you. It's actually pretty exacting. They will find you in a million. They'll find you in one of a million people, easily. In a population of people that visit a website, they will find you. In fact, I use it myself. I use it to identify trolls. So I can identify a troll from browser fingerprinting. A browser fingerprint, mind you, does not identify you. So don't feel too bad about this. A browser fingerprint does not identify you by itself. A browser fingerprint identifies your device in general. It doesn't know who owns the device until it takes a couple more steps. Okay, what are these couple of steps? One is it matches your browser fingerprint to some login. So I'll give you an example here. If you use Google without a login, so they say, okay, this user without a login is actually this guy X. I know because we recognize the computer of X. He now logs in as me, and so now we know that the guy that used to be just X with no login is the same guy as me because they have the same browser fingerprint. So now I can then correlate all the activities and search things that I've done as an unidentified user to me as me with a login. On top of that, all I have to do now is find out what the IP address is. And for those of you without a VPN, I can also now index you and say, oh, I also know that this is the same IP address for 90% of you who don't use a VPN. We can identify you exactly as being this user in all contexts. And we can identify also because you're sharing a house with a DSL connection and everyone in your house has the same IP address, and we also know these are your family members. I'm going to tell you right now that it is pretty difficult to evade that. In fact, I don't know how an average person, unless you're me, that, I do extraordinary things, but most people will not be able to evade that. So now we're left with a quandary here, because what do? We can't evade browser fingerprinting, matching all the activity we do on the internet. Even with a VPN, they will identify your device, even though the VPN helps you by not identifying who you are and where you actually live, but it identifies your computer, so they identify behavior. And one of these days, you're going to make a mistake, like log into Zuck, and they will know exactly who you are. The two ways they identify you are log into Zuck. They got you, because they will match the IP address to your Zuckbook account, or you have an IP address. Okay, those are the two ways you're gonna get zapped. We all know that you need a VPN, and I have a VPN. It's bytesvpn.com. Contact me about using my VPN, which is one of the better VPN options available to you because it has Tor. So given a scenario, how do we deal with this? And the fact is, Levendi, since Levendi was asking to go to topic here, the fact of the matter is, at some point you have to understand that people have already captured your information. They've already captured what you've done on the internet. They already have your search activity. They already know what websites you visited, and so on and so forth. How do you evade that? Okay, it takes some planning. But here's a couple of suggestions for you to think this through. And it requires some heavy thinking here to make this work. This is not something you can do easily. It really requires some advanced thinking, okay? One is you may want to isolate your accounts into different browsers. I refer to it as browser isolation. The reason is browser fingerprinting is attached to browsers. So if you have multiple browsers, then each one is a different fingerprint. And if you have a VPN, they don't connect the above. So if you were to ask my suggestion to prevent more tracking, I would say have multiple browsers, use multiple browsers that use a browser, use a VPN. Don't worry about dynamic IP. That's not relevant here. Okay, use a VPN. So you have a VPN in combination with planning out what you do on each browser. Like I use 5 browsers, let's say. Okay, on average I use 4. Occasionally I'll use 5 browsers. Okay, and what do I do in each one? If I'm going to do Google things, I might as well use Chrome, and the reason is Chrome is Google. So why would I want to give Chrome more information? Since Chrome is already spying on me, I might as well do all the Google things on Chrome. I don't advise you to ever use Google to search. For that, I advise you use alternate search engines such as DuckDuckGo or startpage.com. Use those so that they don't track that search activity. So that's easy to solve. Your search activity can be minimized simply by using DuckDuckGo or startpage.com. So use that. So that will at least wipe out the search activity. And my browsers are configured to always use DuckDuckGo in my case. Okay, and depending on the computer. I think my Mac is configured to use startpage.com. Okay, what does Chrome security have to do with anything? Doesn't have to do anything to do with anything. By the way, do not use the password features of your browser. Do not use the password features of your browser. Do not. If you're going to use a browser security, use something else, a third-party product, a password manager like LastPass, KeyPass, one of those. Don't use the built-in browser. What will happen if you do, you log into your computer, somebody walks into your computer and logs into your Zucking bank account. Do not do that. Do not do that. Yes, Monkey Man, that I do want it to take up so much screen because I don't really want you to see my face, because I need people to come watch my scope, and they're not going to watch my scope if I just show my face. I got a couple hundred viewers here. If I don't show any action here, they don't show up. Okay? So, do you think I'm doing this for you, Monkey Man? I'm doing this to get viewers. So there, I'm going to put it up there. I'm doing it to get viewers. This is not for you, for me to get viewers. If the viewers show up, then great. Okay, now, so you can easily stop the leaking of information to Google from Google searches by using Start Page, but you cannot, and most of us will have this problem, we cannot stop it from tracking you on YouTube. So, if you have a commercial account like I do, which in case of Brax me is my commercial account on YouTube, and I don't want to really to say that, oh yeah, I'm searching for guns, gun scopes, so it's looking at me and saying, oh yeah, look at all these gun scopes, and you looking at all these ammo scopes and all this kind of stuff, and identifying me and profiling me in that sense. And I said, Zuck that. So this is basically what I do, and I'm just. You need to put some careful thought into this, especially some of you who are very political. Are you political, Monkey Man? Are any of you political? Raise your hands if you're political. If you're very political on social media, raise your hands. Type 1 if you're political on social media. Hey is political on social media. Who else is political on social media? Not generally, but very angry these days. Hey is very, very political. Well, some of you are not admitting. I'm not asking you what side you're on. I'm just saying, do you consider yourself political on social media? So, not on social media. Well, I'm not political on social media. But as that turns out, a lot of the people who followed me on YouTube, simply by following me on YouTube, I guess I don't know why, but YouTube has identified me as being conservative based on who followed me on YouTube. And since I don't really go to any political anything, I wonder how I would figure that out. It's something that's anytime that, especially since I hide what I do, I'm really uncomfortable when YouTube comes up with an analysis that says I'm X or Y, and it just bothered me that it knew that I was conservative when I didn't look at anything conservative. So I said, okay, how did it do that? So, and I think it's because of the majority of my followers happen to be conservative, and maybe I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure because many of you actually have your privacy settings set on YouTube, and I can't see who are following me. Just FYI, if you turn off the publicize your subscription list, I can't actually see who's subscribing to me. I can't actually see that. So I'm looking at my list and say, I don't want YouTube to know me as either politically left or right. I don't want it to know that. It's a big deal for me to know that I don't. I track it to make sure that it knows that I doesn't know what I stand for, and it's starting to come up with an analysis, and I'm worried about how does it know that, and this is where the disinformation thing comes in. So I'm already using the techniques that I've showed you, which is that even when I'm logged out, I use a different browser to go to YouTube when I'm going to search for my own sake, rather than to search on my own account. I want YouTube. This is a game I got to play, for goodness sakes. It's terrible that I got to do this. And it really bugs me that I have to play the game, but there's the game. Cat and mouse. It's a cat and mouse game that I have to follow. And it's terrible that we got to do this, but let's look at it from a fun point of view. And we say, well, how does YouTube figure this out? Because if YouTube figures it out, then Jigsaw, the Google company, figures it out. Jigsaw is the weaponized portion of Google. Blame the game, not the player. So this is where you have to put this information in. I've been trying this, so we'll see if it works. So what I've been doing is, on a regular basis, I'm going to since it classified me as conservative, I'm going to YouTube on a regular basis and watching Maxine Waters. Okay? So I'm doing this on a regular basis. Maybe I can automate this for you. Maybe can't keep your eyes open. Maybe I'm gonna automate this for you. But at the moment, what I'm doing right now is I'm having to watch Maxine Waters and Pelosi. Okay, so just to see if I want to see an effect. If I start to see that the recommended scopes on my list are starting to get confused, then I know I've succeeded. I haven't yet. I'd rather watch paint dry. Then I can Greek God. I can automate it for you. I think we can automate it where you run a little program on your computer, and then when you're not watching your computer, we have a preset list, and then your computer watches YouTube while you're sleeping and watches the opposite of what you normally watch. How about that? How about that? No, hey, I'm not saying I actually am anti-establishment, so you can't really classify me as either left or right. But I'm anti-establishment. So I'm thinking to myself, YouTube is probably one of the places where we get profiled the most. Thank you, Nazar, Texas. I think YouTube is one of the ones that gets classified the most because we spend so much time there. And the other one is, they can't do it from my Twitter. My Twitter's pretty balanced. I have a good mix of left and right on my Twitter account. So you can't say I'm left or right from Twitter, because that doesn't give them any information. Okay? But I know that on YouTube they're profiling me. So since I can no longer hide from browser fingerprinting, how do we fool the Zucking computers? How do we fool the Zucking computers? And I'm thinking, why don't we make a website? Why don't you go search for a list of people that are opposite? So I need to come up with a kind of a list and then have YouTube run on your computer all day. And start picking what the Zuck. We say what the Zuck here. Nazar TX, Texas. So, and then let it run all day. And so I advise you to try this out. We'll see how it works. Maybe we report to each other and see if it works. And I want to see our measure of success. Our measure of success. Put a radio next to Alexa. Interesting, hey? Interesting. But then you have to find a A lot of AM radios are actually right wing, so you got to find a left wing radio station. So yeah, so how do you? This is a very interesting project, you know. And if it works, I can maybe automate it, write some programs that will automatically watch the YouTube for you, and and you know, you identify your beliefs, and then it takes the opposite, and you know, then you use that as a service, and then it basically does so much disinformation their database can't figure you out. So I want you to understand what happened with Cambridge Analytica. This is how bad this world has been. Cambridge Analytica, as you know, stole the data from Facebook, and which I told you, you know, 2 years ago when they were doing this. Nobody paid attention to me. And Cambridge Analytica took your data and from there profiled you politically and then came up with a personality profile. So not only did it profile you politically, it actually knows if it knew if you were gullible, if you're kind of an aggressive type, and so on. And by doing so, they can do market tests to see, with truly targeted messages, to see if you can be triggered by certain things. For what it's worth, I told my friends tonight, you're the most interesting guy on P. What is P? More or less. Thank you, Monkey Man. You're a very strange person, though, Monkey Man. I tell you, you can't decide. You can't decide if you're, if you're what you are. You can't decide what you are. So there's no personality test. They took it based on their analysis of what you post on social media. Not so strange? I don't know, Monkey Man. From what you're posting here, you're plenty strange. 100% straight? I don't know, Monkey Man. I don't know. So anyway, let's all try this as an experiment. I know some of you are like, this repels you to go listen to the other side. If you're on the right, it must repel you to listen to Pelosi. If you're on the left, it must repel you to listen to Alex Jones. I know it repels you, but that's what we have to do to confuse that Zucking AI that's trying to manipulate us. Can you imagine if most people did what I said? They will not have any data. Their data will be zucked up, people. We, the ones who have a confusing record, will not be a target of their targeted messaging. We will not be a target. Wire for you. I don't care what you believe in. You do the opposite. If you don't like Pelosi, like Pelosi now. If you don't like Maxine Waters, Maxine Waters is used to be in my district. I used to be in Maxine Waters' district. And if you don't like Maxine Waters, then you say, Zuck, I'm going to watch Maxine Waters. I'm going to watch all the Maxine Waters that are just so praiseworthy, that are just praiseworthy of, sorry to hear that. Go on Twitter and like Pelosi. Why is Instagram and Snapchat so popular with the kiddies? Because they don't really care that they're collecting the data. That's not important to them. I already told you that story from yesterday. So we'll try this experiment, guys. And if this works, there's never been a worse time, since 1929, but this Trump is ripping us apart. Taking all the great things out of America. Therefore, Monkey Man, you need to watch a lot of Trump. Go to Google and watch George Soros. Yes, if you're right, listen to a lot of George Soros. I know you can't stand some of this. Some of you can't stand this, so you're going to have to We're gonna have to do this by JavaScript. You put it on. You run the JavaScript on your computer and let it do the work, so you don't have to physically watch it. What social media do I trust? John Smith Blab obviously bracks me. It's the only one you can trust. Agree? I don't agree with anything, Monkey Man. If I don't want him to know what I believe, I will try to do the opposite in equal volume, and that is hard to do. I'm gonna have to write a script, but I don't know. It's time consuming. I'm doing all these services for you guys, and I don't make money from this. And I at some point I gotta monetize what I do, because I can't live on the freebies that I give. It's very difficult for me. Okay, so if I find support for what I do, then and some of you help me monetize it, then I'll come up with some answers. Yeah, so I can run a script, a JavaScript that will go to YouTube and pull up a list that I'll create on Brax, and then that can do that. I can do that, yes. I have a clown on Scope, $50. I have a clown on Scope, $50. That was like in tears. He was so happy. So, yeah, this is kind of tedious, but can you imagine the value of that if your computer is watching YouTube that you do not yourself believe in? The AI would be so. YouTube, I think, is the main target for this. I think YouTube is the main target. So even if we just focus on YouTube, we might be able to, twist them around where they don't know if they're coming or going, with regards to what our beliefs are. I'm going to Twitter. Yes, the thing is, Twitter is easy because you just follow people on the left and on the right. Why don't you pay the heat bill and stop wearing a sucking scarf in the house? Suggestions for cell phone users also. I don't have any suggestion for cell phone users, since what I do will work with cell phones. It doesn't matter. Why are you snapping, Gold? Gold Snap is snapping. Why is that? So this is something that it's a little, it's a bit of work to do. You can FaceTime or Skype me sometime. You can have real chat, and you can see how real I am. Randomly click on sheet. You even have a recent pick up. Why does it zucking bother you if Rob wears a zucking scarf? I don't know. Why does John Smith Blood care if I wear I thought that this was about style, because this is the only time I can wear my expensive scarf. So yes, this is Brooks Brothers scarf, cashmere. There. No thanks. I only chat with hot chicks. Really, John Smith Blood. I think a different colored scarf. The problem is I can't, because of the green screen, I can't wear anything with a tinge of blue and green. It has to be either reddish, or, like this, brown. No, Gentle George's scarf is green, so that's going to have a problem with the background. Is that pashmina? No, this is just cashmere from Italy. Let me read. It says cashmere made in, no, Scotland. Sorry. Cashmere made in Scotland. What does a Brooks Brother scarf cost? I don't know. You're too old to be trying to keep up with the fashion. I don't keep up with fashion, just buy Brooks Brothers. Yeah, a cashmere scarf from Brooks Brothers. I don't know. $400? Not sure. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but is there any cheap cashmere scarf? They're all kind of expensive. I can't even. I have a Burberry scarf and I can't find it. $225. Need to smoke a cigar. I got a scarf at Walmart for $9.99. It's Jakey Jake is back. Hello, Jakey Jake. So So anyway, so we're gonna try this experiment and try to do it manually first, and then based on my manual experience, I'll see if I can write some JavaScript that will actually. Hillary only buys BB scarves for email IT staff. Uh, let's try this disinformation again. If you're on the right, I recommend that you watch Pelosi and Maxine Waters and Soros. If you're on the left, I suggest that you watch Alex Jones and PragerU and who else? Shapiro. Okay, do that. You may hate doing this, but you may thank me later on when they can't uh, when they can't identify what side you're on. I'm gonna watch Ron Paul. No, Greek God, you are ruining it. Tell you, Greek God, you gotta watch Pelosi and Maxine Waters. How about YouTube? How much do they track what you watch there? They track a lot. Starlight. Remember, YouTube is connected to Jigsaw. So based on what I'm sensing here from what's coming out on the right, they're just getting just as bad as Facebook. Watch Fox and Breitbart if you're on the left. Yes, left needs to watch Savage. Okay, I'll pick one of the sides and watch. Watch the opposite. So I know this just hurts you to do this, but I'm gonna see if I can write some code that will do it for you when you're not actually watching. John Smith, I'm sure if you don't have a VPN, I'm sure you're tracked by Facebook, Google, etc. If you don't have a VPN. So if you want to avoid that, then you need to have a VPN. John Smith Blab, do you have my VPN? If not, you are zucked. I ain't watching. Just give us the scripts. Hey, play those while you sleep with speakers off. There you go, enlighten up, smart. But I know it just hurts you to do that. So the only way for this to work is I can't watch it for you on my servers. You actually have to watch it from your computer. You have to watch it from your browsers, and the only way I can think of doing that is by running a script on your device and let it actually go out there, so that your IP address and browser is actually being fingerprinted. You just blew out my eardrums. Zuck. Setting VCR alone does it even if you don't watch. Setting your VCR alone does it even if you don't watch. What VCR? We're talking about YouTube here. What VCR are we talking about? I didn't know there was a VCR on YouTube. Why isn't DuckDuckGo advertising to get more customers? I've been doing this since you first mentioned this misinformation years ago. Amazing to have that discipline. Enlighten them. That's a lot of discipline to keep doing that. I'm going to tell you that I did not do it myself too often. Because I figured I did a good job of hiding, and as it turns out, it's starting to detect me now. So because it's starting to detect my activities, I'm beginning to recognize that especially now that I'm on YouTube a lot because I'm broadcasting on YouTube. And again, for those people who are just listening to this, please follow me on YouTube. I am my YouTube account is BraxMe, so please follow me on YouTube, BraxMe. And I was going to write a program to do this disinformation before, and I didn't really know how to do it because it was kind of a challenge, because in order for it to work, it has to come from your own browser. But when you gave disinformation about being in your, it didn't work. When you gave disinformation about being in NYC, it didn't work. Yes, because that's because of browser fingerprinting. So if you confuse the computer enough, then it actually doesn't know where you are. So by giving it conflicting information, that's really the secret. To give it so much conflict that the AI can't recognize what's real and what's not. They're not that intelligent. They have some algorithms in there. If the frequency of your watching, and the way you track and see what's happening is watch what is being recommended to you on YouTube on the right side, what's being recommended to you on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, don't be on Facebook. But whatever is being recommended to you is wrong. You have to make an effort that it doesn't recommend anything to you that you actually believe in. So if you're going to Twitter and it's recommending you follow certain accounts that follow your beliefs, then that's a problem. When you say browser, do you mean app on mobile? It doesn't make any difference, Enlighten Up. They're all the same. Brax.me is running in a hidden browser on mobile. Brax.me is running in a browser, even if it's an app. Okay, it's called a web view. Okay, it's a web view browser, so they'll detect that as a browser either way. So let's say I do this on Brax, and let's say we make a little feature on Brax, and we put a little service in there that you pay this and you just leave it alone, and it runs all night and starts to go loop through YouTube. It'll be a browser. It'll run on mobile. It doesn't really make any difference. It's going to use a lot of bandwidth though, but Pelosi. There you go. Hay is starting to get the picture. Maxine Waters. We love Maxine Waters. Hey. Not that important for mobile users to hear. You always make it sound like there's a big difference, and there isn't. There isn't. Most apps run in a web view. So whether you like it or not, you're going to the internet on a browser. Please donate. So, I want to do these services, but I don't know if I can sustain it financially doing this for free. So, if Startpage now has a lot of CAPTCHA requests with certain VPNs. No, Startpage was giving me a lot of CAPTCHAs even when I was on PIA. There is the mind of mobile users. What is the mind of mobile users? What is the mind? Mindset? Doesn't make any difference. It works the same way. It works the same way. Whether you're mobile or not, this is the same problem. If you're using YouTube, you're using YouTube. It makes no difference if you're using it on a mobile or a computer. It's tracking you. What happens is many of you use mobile and actually think somehow you're immune from VPN problems. Actually, I have a start page and DuckDuckGo. Yes, but do you have a VPN? Mobile users don't relate to computers. Mobile users use a computer. Maxine Waters for president. There you go, Maui. You're understanding the program. Yes, I love your VPN. And what is your VPN, John Smith Blab? I hope you are using my VPN. Guys, if you're not using my VPN, bytesvpn.com, I do recommend that you use mine because the capacity, basically I have super giant servers running the VPN. It's very high speed because of that. And I'm at 10% capacity. I prepaid a lot of bandwidth. So you're going to, enjoy the fact that you can use a high-speed VPN that is not known as a VPN by most places. It does not register as a VPN in 90% of the cases, versus PIA. PIA is known as a VPN almost all the time, and Brax is not. Bytes VPN is not. And then on top of that, we have the that doesn't help you, John Smith Blab. And the other thing is my VPN has Tor on it, which means you can access Tor on your phone. So you can easily switch from a normal VPN to Tor when you feel like you want to truly do some searching that you don't want to show up as part of your profile, right? So if you want to like really confuse if you want to really confuse the search engines, how about switching your phone to run Tor, and then go watch YouTube's from Tor-based computer. Yeah, but John Smith Blab, you have no Zucking Tor. I have that. That comes free for anyone who uses my VPN. You get a Tor router, Tor routed VPN, Tor routed VPN. Anyway, I'll. We're gonna do this manually for now. I'm gonna go, you know, plot out the opposite of what I want to watch. So if you're on the right, watch a lot of Pelosi and Maxine Waters and George Soros. If you're on the left, watch Alex Jones, Shapiro, Savage, PragerU, whatever. So you do all that and just let's pound them with this information. Yes, but I give a lot of freebies, and yeah, it's tough to make a living doing this because it's I'm doing this for you guys, and not for me to get rich. And unfortunately, sometimes that's an ouch. Braxme is running on my own dime. Mad Maxine, yes, see Jenny Lee, yes, you watch the opposite of what you want to watch. Until you look at your YouTube profile and see that it doesn't know what to recommend. If YouTube starts to recommend the opposite of what you believe in, then you've succeeded. Just keep looking at YouTube and say, where is it going? Is it going to the left, to the right? If it's giving you recommendations to the right, pound them with the opposite. What if I start loving Pelosi? What's wrong with Pelosi? Maui, what's wrong with Pelosi? When did you pass 51 million hearts? Apparently, it happened on a replay. And lighten up, it happened on replay, so I didn't really know. It happened on replay. By the time I started my scope yesterday, I was already over 51 million. Maui, Pelosi is fantastic. What are you talking about? Maxine Waters, I mean, come on. Come to my district and vote for Maxine Waters. I didn't get to vote for Maxine Waters because I'm in a different district. Pelosi or Waters? Soros. Antifa. Put that on your list. You prefer Adam Schiff. If you're gonna watch if you want Adam Schiff, you're gonna have to watch a lot of Alex Jones then. Death. So you're gonna have to watch a lot of Alex Jones to counteract that Adam Schiff guy. It's gonna be a challenge. Looks like anyway tonight, guys, check your YouTube recommendations. Check it. Check your YouTube recommendations and see how it identifies you. This is, by default, look and see what it recommends. So that's your starting point. What does YouTube know about me? So you look at your recommendations on there. And if it finds too much about you that's too personal, then you may want to, search for something else. Let's say you like gardening and you're watching too many videos in gardening. You may have to watch a lot more about forest fires. Something completely different. And I guess we have to automate this because we can't stand watching this. This is one of the problems that we have because Google knows that we cannot stand watching what we don't believe. So it's going to be hard for them to. They will know that in most cases what you watch is accurate. So doing a disinformation campaign is very, very difficult. It goes against the flow. Goes against the flow. So that's why I may have to automate it because no one wants to do this. I'm losing my audience now. Look, everyone's gone. Losing my audience because they didn't see any squash. So they're saying we don't like the scope. It's too boring. So I will experiment with this. We'll discuss this again in a week. We'll discuss this again in a week and see. Let's make a project out of this, and then let's report in a week's time, and see if YouTube actually changes what they think about us. Okay, let's see what happens and see if we actually make progress with that. You got 5,400 viewers, yeah, but they're all just watching for the squash. My actual viewer count is low. My piano. I'm curtailing the piano on a regular scope. I'm gonna put it in. Do actual scopes that are just music, because YouTube is. I don't want YouTube to put a copyright claim on my main topic. So if it's a main topic, I'm not going to play anything recognizable. Mobile users delete and reinstall the YouTube app. I don't think so. Enlighten up. I don't know if that'll work because of browser fingerprinting. I just noticed again. I've noticed this on mine. This is why I'm saying why are you safe? Why are you safe to play on Periscope? I'm not. I'm not using my real name on Periscope. So, I don't believe you. Enlighten up. We'll see. So you're saying that they got rid of the browser fingerprint just because you reinstall the app? They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I don't quite. You don't care. Okay. Well, I have to suspend belief on that because I've just tested on here. I just tested on here, and for me, it doesn't. It doesn't work for me. So maybe they haven't profiled you. I don't know. Maybe you're doing such a good job with this information that doesn't know how to profile you. Not logged in, of course. Well, that's really the kicker here. If I'm not logged in and I log in and it still finds the same things that I searched for when I'm not logged in. And by the way, this can be subtle because when you're not logged in, it can show specific videos. But when I'm logged in and it shows the same type of videos, not the specific ones, but the same type, that's what I worry about. So this requires, quite a bit of analysis to see if it's really the case. So based on my experience, I'm suspicious of it. Especially since I do not do anything on my Braxme account. I hardly ever even launch YouTube. If I'm going to look at YouTube, I'm going to use a different account, different browser. All my regular suggestions change after. Yeah, just do a more long-term analysis of that. Do a more long-term analysis, because browser fingerprint isn't going to be tricked by reinstallation. I'm baffled how some YouTubers have so many subs with the content they show. Okay, again, Richard, I'm going to tell you, I'm a zucking loser on YouTube. Richard, you say, oh, you're going to be zucking successful on YouTube. Wrong. I'm going to tell you right now. For me to be successful on YouTube and to monetize, I need a minimum of 4,000 viewing hours and 1,000 followers. before you even show up on the grid, before they even approve you for monetization. 1,000 followers. I don't even have 200 followers. I have 9 hours of viewing time. I am a nothing on YouTube. Let me just check my YouTube here to see. I am a nothing on YouTube. I don't even exist. I don't even exist. I'm like a non-entity on YouTube. I have 100, according to this, I have 190 subscribers. That means in this entire broadcast, I only got 1 subscriber. Okay, 191. So follow me on YouTube. I'm Brax space me. So according to this, I have 191 subscribers. Well, Zuck, that's pretty far from 1,000. Very, very far. And for me to get 4,000 hours, I only have 9 hours right now. Zuck. 9 hours of viewing time. How the heck do I get there? So the only way to do this, folks, is to do it slowly and deliberately and regularly. It doesn't happen automatically. It's hard work. So I have to keep going on Periscope, and then hopefully little by little, people sign up on YouTube and follow me. So if you have a YouTube account, or if you don't have an active YouTube account, please follow me anyway, and then you can always log out. And my YouTube account is Brax space me, Brax me, 2 words, Brax me. So please follow me on YouTube, and then maybe one of these days we can broadcast on both and have the same kind of viewership numbers. Pretty difficult. I got almost 32,000 followers here in Periscope, and I'm at 191 on YouTube. It's going to be a hard battle. That would be a very, very difficult battle. So I'm telling you right now, I can't possibly monetize on Periscope easily for a year at the earliest. So Rich said, you're gonna be so successful on YouTube. It's gonna be hard battle, a hard fight. 1 year from now, you will have a few thousand. Yeah, right. 1 year from now, I will have, at the rate I'm going, 1 year from now, I will have 1,000. So it's going to be a struggle. Yeah, but I got most of my followers in the first 2 years. The bulk of it. Don't forget about us here. No, Kelp, I'm told you already that because of the community that we have here in Periscope will always be number 1 for me. So yeah, Periscope will always be number 1. So hopefully when I do this, then people will show up on my scope. Let's see if the numbers show up. If So DJ Murdoch sees a gun and says, "Oh, I'm going to give you super hearts." No, the numbers are not changing with a gun, so that doesn't work. It's a matter of, A/B testing. A/B testing says, Squash, it got me here. You came here because of a gun? Oh. I mean, it looks pretty real, guys. Don't you think it looks pretty real? It looks very real to me, right? I mean, it looks very real. It's actually a replica. From California, it's need contrast against your sweater. Yeah, this looks very, very real, and you can actually disassemble this. Yeah, you can actually disassemble it just like a real deal. You can actually, you take the thing out. See? You can actually take the springs out and take the barrel out just like a real deal. Just like the real thing, guys. It's a pellet gun. Yeah, but you know, it's there. Yeah, I can I can like field strip it. The American round. Okay, so anyway, I'm not like I said, I'm from now on I'm avoiding playing music. The gun might not help you on YouTube, but there's a lot of gun videos here, so I don't know for sure. Not real gun, but still beautiful. It looks kind of nice, right? Nice toy. I like this toy. Maybe I'll do gun videos with toys. So anyway, let's check up on with each other here and see what happens with. Just keep watching your YouTube suggestions and see what you can do to change it. And make sure you clear your history and then do a pause. It's called pause your. It's in privacy settings on YouTube. Maybe next time maybe tomorrow I'll show you what they are, so you can at least tell Google specifically not to track you. We need our piano. Yeah, I can't do it on this scope. I'd have to cut the scope and do separate broadcasts. And I've just had too many adult beverages right now, so don't want to do it. So okay, so you know what I can do though? I just realized I can always play. I can always play the anonymous tune because I forgot how to play the anonymous tune. Yeah, YouTube can't put a copyright on the anonymous tune. show. Obviously, I can't show keys once it doesn't show because the camera's pretty far away. Camera's very far away. So it's not something like I can just go there and go adjust it. So, no, I gotta go configure it. And I have a second camera that's not working, so there's a few things I gotta go figure out. But anyway, glad to have you here, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow. And we'll be broadcasting. Maybe you know, I can't imagine broadcasting at the normal time on New Year's Eve. So we'll see. Maybe I can broadcast early on New Year's Eve. It's broke. It's not running right now. So I have a new computer, and the other camera is not operating, and I don't really know why yet. So it doesn't work at the moment. So I shall figure it out at some point, and then we'll see. Okay? So there's still a few things, and people are saying, "Well, you look like a ghost here." Yep, I got to figure out the lighting. The lighting is not. It's overexposed. My face is overexposed from the lighting, so I got to figure that out. Okay, so it's one of the things I got to go figure out. So now, all these people are showing up all of a sudden here. So thank you for showing up, guys, and I will let's do a disinformation test for the week, and see. Let's report on it a week later, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so good night, folks, and see you tomorrow.